guys, my name's Kat and I'm with the Alliance for Positive Health, specifically the Food4Life program, and today we're going to be making balsamic green bean salad. So, the parts of this recipe that you're not going to see, I have already prepared our beans so that we can add them to our salad. What I did was I brought them to a boil for about 6 to 8 minutes covered, and then I blanched them. So I put them in cold water, in this case ice water. This gives them a nice soft texture, and putting them in ice water stops them from overcooking so that they're not slimy. That's the reason why generally we blanch things. It kind of also brings out the nice green color. So the next step that we want to do when we're creating these guys and we're making this salad, you can veer from this recipe a little bit if your heart desires, because the proportions can be up to you. So we're going to add some feta, we're going to make our own dressing, and I'm going to talk about how easy it is to make your own dressing. But for now, let's start combining some stuff. So, as you know, we have our beans. Next, what we want to do is we want to add a couple of our other wetter ingredients before we start on our dressing. So, right here I've got sliced up, the recipe calls for cherry tomatoes. I know these are grape tomatoes, I used what I had, okay? The cherry tomatoes are just like a little bit cuter. But, so these guys, we want to cut them in half. They're super tasty. We're going to add them to this. What I'm going to suggest, and I'm going to angle my camera down here so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. There we go. When you go to cut these guys in half, I just want to talk a little bit about knife skills because I get this question a lot. Hold this like this. You call it the eagle claw. Make sure your hand is like a claw. And I'm going to hold this sideways and cut forward and rock back. So you're not stabbing down into it, you're not cutting it flat, you're dragging it back. Rock forward, drag back. And make sure you're keeping your fingers out of the way. So by making this, I can't cut my fingers. So that's what we want with those. Okay, so we've got these guys all combined. We're going to shake them so that they're all combined together in a pretty even way. And it should start looking about like that. You just got even amounts mixed together. We're going to throw our large red onion in there as well. Take that. We're also going to give it a kind of shaking everything towards you, but so it kind of goes in the air so that it combines. So it's going to look about like that. It's pretty. There's at least 3 different colors, so that's kind of nice. It's kind of visually appealing. And then the recipe calls for a cup of feta. I'm a little bit sensitive to dairy, so I'm going to use less, but you can use more or less depending on your taste. This is a half a cup. Our full cup would be about yay much. I'm going to use a half a cup, and I'm going to throw that in there as well. So this is the basis of our salad. It's a simple salad. It can take the place of a different side for an entree, or you can use it as an appetizer. I personally like this one in the summer because it's light. So that's basically our finished product. You can mix it in a little bit more. Ta-da! Just a bunch of pretty colors. So next I'm going to show you how to make your dressing for this, because we're going to toss all of that in a dressing. Okay, so for our dressing, we're going to do a simple balsamic. You can make pretty much any dressing at home, especially oil-based ones. They're just going to be an olive oil or an oil and a vinegar, generally. So balsamic is called balsamic because it's made from balsamic vinegar. Usually looks like that at the store. You can buy your own in a container, but then you're not able to control the preservatives that are in it. You are on your own if you create it, you're responsible, and you get to care for what's in it. So I prefer making my own salad dressing because I think that it's very cool because you can make it the way you want it. You can spice it to your taste. So this one is going to call for 1/4 cup olive oil. Throw that in there. Remember, this is a liquid measure, usually that looks like this. This is a dry measure. Usually they're plastic cups or spoons, but you can use this as well. So our liquid that I've put in here is 1 tablespoon of the balsamic, and you're going to mix it in, and you're going to notice that oil and vinegar repel each other. That's okay, but you're going to have to whisk them in together. So it calls for 3 of these. And I'm going to add those in here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's kind of cool, actually. about it into a bowl, just 3, and you can tell that it's kind of separating. Totally normal, that's what you want. If you go to store this, you'll notice it separates. You gotta shake or stir it up to get that to stop happening. It also calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is a very tiny little amount. A teaspoon is this much, just that tiny little amount that's open right there. It calls for 1/8 of that, or 1/4 of that, for garlic powder and mustard seeds, salt, and pepper. So that's really all we're gonna put in there. If you wanna just put a couple shakes instead of measuring that out, you can do that, because it's just a few shakes. Our lemon juice, we wanna do 3 tablespoons of that. This is gonna give it a little bit of a kick. It's gonna be nice with the beans. 3 of these. And like I said, you can wing it a little bit when it comes to spicing our dressing here. That was salt. We're gonna do pepper. And brown mustard. Okay, and we're gonna whisk. Sorry about the metal on metal sound. You can get a rubber spatula if the sound annoys you. When you mix it together, it's gonna become slightly more one color. So, we're pretty much almost done. This recipe is very simple and tastes very wonderful. So we're just gonna toss what we have in our bowl here, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna drizzle this gently over top, and then we're gonna give it a shake. We're gonna do that same motion, forward, back, that way everything is evenly coated. And voila, that's our simple balsamic green bean salad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chill this for about an hour. It's gonna sit in there, it's gonna absorb all the nice flavors from the dressing that we created, and it's gonna be awesome. So, if you are interested in services from the Alliance for Positive Health or the Food4Life program, please contact somebody at the Alliance or visit our website. Give it a quick Google and see what we got. This is Kat from Food4Life. Have an awesome day.